Today I'm going to talk about feeling it is done. Okay, if you can feel that it is done, it's more like a knowing. It's a knowing and a feeling combined. So it's kind of like a sense. Okay, if you can feel it is done, you can manifest circumstance. Okay. All right. If you're ready to learn and apply, stay and watch the video to make your dreams a reality. If you're not ready, you're like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to watch it. I got to do something. Don't watch this. Or if you're not going to do it, don't watch it. Okay, so let's get started. Neville Goddard shares an example of how to manifest with imagination. He manifested a ship ticket for himself and his family, his wife and his daughter. He shares about, if you read Neville Goddard, he shares how he manifested his whole life. Because when he first started, he didn't have money, he didn't have a wife, he didn't have kids. He learned from the Jewish rabbi, Ethiopian Jewish rabbi, Abdullah. And it's crazy how Abdullah lived because it was during a time where there was a lot of racism. But Neville would say that even though there was racism, come here, Machi, come here. He still frequented places where black people were not allowed, okay, where they were prohibited, because he didn't live in that reality. Abdullah didn't live in that racist reality. Now I digress from that, and let's talk about how you create your own. Okay, there's no limits. Whatever's going on in the world, whether positive or negative, they're all states, and people are living in those states. But you control your own state, because all we are is awareness plus the state of awareness, which is feeling. When we feel it, we are it. We're being. Okay, and then we just allow everything to just happen. Okay, so Neville Goddard, he went to Barbados, and when he went to visit his family, right, his wife and kids, and he's there in April. He has to get back by May. He goes to the ship company. He goes, hey, let me get a ticket, yeah? The earliest ticket to New York is in September. So you have May, June, July, August, September, 5 months later. Okay, he's like, wow, what? He didn't plan to have such a hard time to get back. But this is Neville Goddard. This is not a person of the carnal mind, a person who's living in the physical world only. And Neville says, okay. So he looks at the ships, right? He finds the ship that goes to New York. Okay, that's the ship that goes to New York. Looks at it carefully. And then he closes his eyes. You know, he goes somewhere where he can relax and sit down, and he closes his eyes. And he imagines himself. He feels himself to be on a little boat, one of those transportation boats, and he's pulled up next to the ship. In Barbados, that's how they did it. They pull up in a small boat, and then they go up the gangplank, which is the little bridge that connects to the ship. So he steps on it. He feels he's stepping on it. He gets to the top, and he did this a few times because he would his mind will switch back. It'll switch back. Oh, sorry, Banshee. Sorry, I poked him with them. Sorry, Banshee. It would get distracted and go off on a tangent. So he would bring it back. He'd walk up the gangplank, the little bridge, and then he finally, after a few times of bringing his mind back, was able to get to the top, put his hands on the railing, and look back at the island. So he's looking back at the island. Right now, where he's sitting, he's on the island. Okay, so this is a great way to imagine. Like, if I want to manifest something here in my apartment, for example, maybe I want a specific somebody to come over to my apartment. So what I would do, I would imagine that person, me and that person standing somewhere where I'm currently not, okay? My physical body. So if I'm sitting here on this couch, I would see me and this person in the kitchen or by the restroom, somewhere different, so you can literally use your imagination. Like, that's your use of your imagination, something that's not physical at the moment. And So he feels that he's there. He's feeling the ship deck. He's feeling the railing. He's seeing Barbados. He's seeing the island, and he feels kind of sad because he's leaving his family because that's his native country. That's where his family is at, and so, but he's happy that he's gonna make it back to New York on time. He's happy he's gonna make it back. All right, so he does that, and then goes on about his day, and then later on, he doesn't say, he doesn't specify how soon, but soon enough to get to New York, because he gets a call from the company, and the shipping company tells him, "Hey, we got a few spots open. You and your family can come now." He asked them, "Okay, why are you giving me the tickets? I just signed up." They said the people on the waiting list, because he was on a waiting list. The people who were before you said that the time was inconvenient for them, so we got to you. So I don't know what had happened. Maybe something happened to those people where it was inconvenient for them. We don't know what happened. We never know the bridge of incidences. We never know what's going on. For example, this is an example that I'm gonna share. And so he got onto the ship and went to New York. And he felt, he got to the deck with his family, and he looked back and felt sad and happy that he was going to New York again. Sad that he was leaving his family, but happy that he was going to get back to New York. Was it the office? I just lost the train of thought. I was going to share something. He repeated the imaginal act. What he saw in his mind. You gotta feel that it is done. And by literally using your physical senses in imagination, using your imaginal senses, in other words, like your feel, touch, smell, hearing, in imagination, plus having that feeling like, it's done. You can also say when you wake up, you're like, it's done. You can say it's done. You close it with a little prayer. My challenger, that's the next one that I was going to share, but I wanted to share something else. But if it comes back, I'll share it. I use an ask-formation for my challenger. Yes, I visualize too. I visualize myself driving it, and there's times where I would get deja vu, because I'll be driving the Challenger on the freeway, and I'm like, wow, I visualize this. But I know it was the ask-formation that really helped me out to receive it faster, because when I would do the ask-formation, I would say, how do I feel now that I own a beautiful black Dodge Challenger, and it is behind these ugly cars right here, like these cars, like these, because there's a contrast. So I'm like, these ugly cars, and you can see my beautiful Challenger behind it. How do I feel? And I'm like, I feel like confident, cool, yeah. So I would walk confident, cool, I walk with that new vibe, that new feeling, and I know it's done because I'm moving like it. So I'm feeling it, and I'm like, yes, it's done. And then go about my day. Not thinking consciously about it all day long, just working. Like right now, I'm working, helping you guys manifest. So I'm not thinking about my desires. I'm thinking about you and helping you. And then I got a hunch. Text your what's it called? Your attorney who's helping you with a car accident case. He ends up giving me a commission check because I sent him a ton of clients. Everybody who got in a car accident, I'm like, hey. My attorney can help you, and my attorney at that time had not given me anything, but I knew he was good, because just through gut feeling, he was a good guy. So I sent everybody to him, and he's like, hey man, here's 25 bands, $25,000. So from one day to another, after texting him, he said, hey, come check me out, come to my office, and I think I went that day or the next day, and that day that I went to see him, he gave me a $25,000 check, a commission check, for one day. But I was using an affirmation and my imagination to attract that money to buy the Challenger. Because that's what I was primarily focused on. I was like, my desire was so strong for it. And knowing how to use my imagination and how to manifest circumstances using imagination. Because if you're saying something that is not physically out here, that's imagination. It's an assumption or imagination, whatever helps you understand this. For me, I like saying imagination because there's a quote that Neville Goddard says that I don't like, but I understand it, and it's quote: "An assumption, though false to the evidence of the senses, will harden into fact." An assumption, though false to the evidence of the senses, will harden into fact. An assumption, though false to the evidence of the senses, will harden into fact. To me, that's imagination. Though false to the evidence of the senses, will harden into fact. Thought will solidify itself. That's something Thomas Troward teaches. Thought solidifies itself. Just know that it's done. Just know and feel that it's done. Feel that it's done, and you feel it when you ask yourself how to feel now that I have it. How or imagine yourself already experiencing the thing that you would experience. So possess and express what you desire to possess and express, and repeat it over and over and over again, just like Neville did over and over again, because his mind will wander and until you feel it to be true. And he also said that he fell asleep one time. He was imagining and just knocked out. And then it happens. It's great to fall asleep while you're using your imagination. Okay, that's also important to remember. As you fall asleep, you want to feel positive. You want to run some affirmations. You want to use your imagination. You want to run an affirmation. Typically, I run an affirmation. How do I feel now that I got everything that I desire? How do I feel now that I have this? I feel it, and I just fall asleep. How do I feel? Because the feeling is the secret. Neville Goddard teaches us this. The feeling is the secret. And the example I shared, it was the feeling. For me, the example, it was the feeling. I felt cool. Everybody is different. And if you're so far from the conviction of this being a reality for you, you'll feel like it's not true. You'll hear the little voice like, oh, what the hell is not true? This is why it's important to be calm as you run these practices, okay? These imaginary practices, to be calm. There's also the, I think called NFT things, NFT spots where you tap yourself. They do calm you down because you get grounded. I am worthy of everything I desire. I can have anything. I'm the operant power. I am the king of my reality. God and I are one. I am God. And then you calm down. There's probably science behind it. I don't know the science, but I can feel it. You heard me take a deep breath. It calms you down. And so it helps you build conviction because you're saying it in a calm vibe. That's how you impress the subconscious mind, in a calm vibe. Right before you go to sleep, you're calm, you're relaxed. That's how you can impress your subconscious mind so easily during that time. But you can do it whenever. When I did my affirmation, I was walking. It was during the day. I was taking a break from work, from making calls, sales calls, and stuff like that. When I take a break from writing, I write on Medium. You can find the link below, in the description. I get burnt out. I'm like, oh, my head, oh shoot. So I just start visualizing and visualize and probably knock out a little bit. Sometimes I'll knock out for an hour, if I'm at home. But if I'm at my office or I'm at lunch, I just take a little siesta, little nap, and recuperate my mental faculties, my mental energy. Money, okay, yes sir. Money. So recently we've experienced a few holidays, right? We've had Christmas, we've had Thanksgiving, New Year's. So we haven't been working much at the company that I'm at. And so logically I'm like, whoa, not many days we've been working. All the holidays have been landing during the week. And so I'm like, not many days of work. So my hourly is not going to be as high. My hourly pay and even commission, because we're not at the office, and that's where we're working. But I am working at home, and for commission. And I told myself, how do I feel now that we received our check deposits, our deposits Friday, which is yesterday. And I told myself, okay, what would I see if I received a fat check? If I received a fat ass check, because we receive multiple checks, we have different avenues. We have the business, the main business, then we have another like service that we do that for some reason the company separated them. And so I'm like, I told myself, how do I feel now that I received a fat ass check? You know, from the place where I work, and I would feel relaxed. Every time I felt nervous, I'm like, I'll just repeat that. How do I feel now that I received a fat ass check? And not only that, I asked myself, what would I see if I received a fat ass check? What would I buy? What would I buy? And I was like, oh, I'd buy a tracksuit. I'll probably wear it. It's a tan one on one of these next videos. If it comes in tomorrow, I'll wear it tomorrow because the Amazon Prime said it was gonna be here tomorrow. So I'm like, I'd buy that thing. And right before the video, I wanted to give this an example because I did manifest a fat ass check. I got a few checks as if we didn't have any days off. I got a check as if we didn't have any days off. Let me say that again. I got a check like we didn't have any days off. The universe molded itself towards my belief and my conviction. My belief, my conviction. Okay? Conviction. Conviction and belief synonymous. And my feelings. I would ask myself, how do I feel now that I received a fat ass check? From, I put my manager's name in there. I feel relaxed. And especially when I felt nervous. Like, oh shoot. This is gonna be like nothing, like we're not gonna get anything. We didn't have any days of work these last couple of weeks. And so I did that. And I molded my physical reality. And before this, I bought the tracksuit. Which compared to clothes that I really buy, it's a little treat, Because I'm used to buying like $5 shirts, stuff like that. Okay, and it was not $5. It was way more. The tracksuit, so it's multiple pieces to it, top and bottom. But it is what it is. I could get anything I want. So that's that example. Money. So you gotta do that with money. There's an example that Neville Goddard shared in his audiobook that I was reading. It's the same book that I read. It's the 10 books, Neville Goddard. 10 books, Neville. It's a collection of books. And he had said, dang, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, yeah. He had said, if you want something to manifest, if you think it'll happen around this time, use that time. Because your belief is there. So, for example, I'm manifesting shoes. And I want them to be here. And I believe they can be here by 2 days from now. And 2 days from now, let's give an example, is Sunday. And right now it is, Thursday, right? Thursday. Let's say it's Thursday. I know it could be there by Sunday. So what would a Sunday look like to me? What would a Sunday look like to me? So if I go to brunch or go to the gym and I stay longer or what have you, it's a Sunday. Experience that Sunday and experience yourself getting that thing that you want. Which in this case, in this example, was shoes. So you see yourself putting on the shoes or taking off the shoes. I like taking off. It's a little bit better when you're back from brunch. Taking them off or the gym, whatever you do on a Sunday. Do that. It's your belief. But if you believe it's going to take 2 years, guess what? It's going to take 2 years. So don't do that. Don't do that. Well, it's up to you if you want to wait that long. I doubt it. Remember, the title of this video is Feel It Is Done Now. Feel it is done now. Okay? Not later, not tomorrow. Not in the past. Feel it is done. Now. All we have is now. All we have is the present moment. When we think about the past, we're thinking about the past now. If we think about the future, we're thinking about the future now. Okay, all we have is now, which is awareness, plus the state of awareness. Okay, there's a cool concept, a cool practice that Neville shared. And he shared, if you feel like, if you want to get back to awareness, just say, I am, I am, I am. Close your eyes to the senses. Say, I am, until you're just, I am. And then from there, you can construct your state of awareness, which is running your imagination or running self-talk in imagination. Okay. I think there's one more thing that I want to share. And that is, oh yes. And this is the thing that I want to share. The affirmation. The affirmation after running your imagination, which is the scene, or the affirmation, or the self-talk. Okay. When I manifested my challenger, I would feel the feeling that I summoned through the affirmation. How do I feel now that I have blah, 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 and it's behind there? How do I feel? I would feel it, then walk like it. And during my walking like it, I said, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Something amazing just happened to me right now. And I riffed it off, just kept on saying, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? It was kind of like a little too showy, too exciting, but it still manifested. And ideally, just be like, it's, you can say a small affirmation, like a small statement. Thank you. It is done. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Right after you run the imagination, or you say the affirmation and you feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled, they feel, just say, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? It is done. Or thank you. Just gratitude. Thank you. It is done. Thank you. It is done. That's feeling it to be done and knowing. Feeling and knowing it to be done. Then, here's the bonus for those of you who stay to the end. It is done now. There's no time. Remember, past, present, there's no time. It's an illusion. Every day is the same. The only thing different is the way that things start moving. The climate, people, your state of consciousness. There's no time. You have it now. You have it now. It could happen instantly. It could happen, it could take long. You don't know. But as long as you feel that it is done now, and you feel satisfied, that's all you need to know. Because if you feel like you don't have it, and I know it can be hard, especially if you don't have shit. It can get hard. It's really, really hard. But you've been listening to fucking people who live outside. I don't want to say they're dumb, but people who live from the physical world, so they make you do dumb things. Like, buy my product, spend everything you got. Dumb shit like that. And you're like, okay. And you get into a hole. So it can be tough. I know it can be tough, but just riff it off. Run that feeling. Run that feeling again. Run the affirmation. Get into the vibe. Get in flow. Start working. Start doing something for others. When you do things for others, you're not thinking about your problems. Or when you're working out, you have some heavy ass weight. You're like, all right, let me just hit this weight. And then run positive affirmations. I got this. I can have everything. I can have anything. I can have anyone. I'm the upper in power. Let's go. I even run my imagination for lifting weights. If you see my shorts, I'm lifting like 300 pounds on a few exercises, or close to 300. And when I doubt, I imagine myself already having it done. I imagine, okay? I'm like, boom. I feel the weight and I'm standing up at the end already, or I'm at a muscle up and I'm like, yes, I already did it. I'm at the top of the bar. A scene following the accomplishment. It could be immediately after, okay? But as long as it's you accomplishing it, having it already, it's good, okay? You can't be like trying to get it. I like to give the example of a car. Like if you want to buy a car, you don't imagine yourself at the car lot. You'll find yourself at the car lot forever. You imagine that you have the car in your garage, or you're telling somebody about it. Hey, I just got this car. Look, here's the car keys. Following the accomplishment. Okay. Or you're in possession of it. You could be driving it. It's already yours. Yeah, time. Time is an illusion. Awareness is forever. Thought, consciousness is eternal. Before Abraham, I am. Before the concept of man, there was only consciousness. Kingdom of heaven. Heaven is consciousness. When they say heaven in the Bible, they're talking about consciousness. Kingdom of heaven is within. Consciousness is within. It's not without. Without is the state of consciousness projected. Okay, and that's always ephemeral. It's always changing. Okay, it's always changing. Now, if you want to read more on these topics, on self-love, being in flow, that's self-love. You're loving yourself. You're putting yourself in a positive state, or manifestation, or getting in shape. Check out my author's link, my Amazon's author's link, and get yourself a book. It's not expensive. If you don't have money right now, just keep watching these videos. If you do, buy some of my books. If you want coaching, one-on-one coaching, I can help you manifest whatever it is you want. We'll create a scene with the thing that you desire, and I'll help you run it so you can feel that it is done, and then help you through the process, through the waiting period. Okay, help you understand the process by helping you live life. Okay, helping you live life. That's what we do, and when we wait for it, when we know it's already done, we're just waiting. Just be patient. You have to know that it is done. Be patient. It is done, and then it happens. Okay, it happens. Be it through your actions, be it through somebody knocks at your door. Okay? Till next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make this video go out into the universe and help others. Peace!